myself Dr. Kiran Yadav. In this session, I will discuss about how to check whether an equation is dimensionally correct or not using the dimensional equation. To explain this topic, I will take an example. So we have an equation given to us and we need to check whether it is dimensionally correct or not. So the equation that is given to us is F is equals to mv square upon r, where F is the centripetal force acting on the body, m is the mass of the body, and this body is performing a uniform circular motion along a circle of radius r and linear speed v. So to check this equation, let's see what are different terms in this equation in LHS and RHS whose dimensions we need to find. So in LHS there is the term F, which is force, and in RHS there is term mv square upon r. So we will find the dimensions of both these terms individually, and if the dimensions of both these terms are same, then the equation is dimensionally correct, and if the dimensions of both these terms are not same, then the equation is dimensionally incorrect. So in left hand side we have the term force, and the dimension of force is lmt minus 2. We studied this thing earlier, that the dimension of force is mlt minus 2. In RHS we have mv square upon r. So write the dimensions of each term, like write the dimension of mass, then velocity, and square the dimension of velocity, and then in denominator write the dimension of r. So the dimension for mass is m, dimension for velocity is lt minus 1, and dimension for r is radius, which is basically length. So the dimension of r will be L. On further solving this equation, we get the dimension of RHS mlt minus 2. ठीक है, वेलोसिटी का डायमेंशन है lt minus 1. यहाँ पे वेलोसिटी का स्क्वायर है तो डायमेंशन का भी स्क्वायर कर देंगे, तो ये बन जाएगा l स्क्वायर t minus 2. ठीक है, ये ध्यान रखना l स्क्वायर t minus 2 कैसे आया है. So the dimension of RHS is mlt minus 2 and the dimension of LHS is mlt minus 2. So from equation 1 and 2 we can see that the dimension of left hand side is equals to the dimension of right hand side. So this equation is dimensionally correct. Okay, so now we take one more example. In this example also there is an equation given and we have to check whether it is dimensionally correct or not. So the given equation is v square is equals to u square plus 2as square. Okay, so let me explain first that what are the various terms in this equation. Here v is the final velocity and u is the initial velocity, a is the acceleration, and s is the displacement. So let us see how many terms are there in the equation whose dimensions we need to find. So in this equation in LHS there is the term v square, so we need to find its dimension. In RHS there are two terms. First one is the u square and the second one is the 2as square. So we will have to find the dimension of u square and 2as square individually, and then we will check whether the dimension of all the three terms that we find are equal or not. So in LHS there is a term v square and the dimension of velocity is lt minus 2. Therefore the dimension of left hand side will be l square t minus 2. Clear? Then we will find the dimension of the term u square. U is also velocity, although it's initial velocity, but basically it's velocity, so we will all use the dimension of velocity here also. So the dimension of u square will be L to t minus 2. Now we have to find out the dimension of 2as square. The dimension for acceleration is L t minus 2, and that for s, which is displacement, is L1. And here we have s square, so its dimension will become L square. So on solving this, we get the dimension of the term 2as square to be equal to L cube t minus 2, which is not equal to the dimension of u square or the dimension of v square. So LHS is not equals to RHS. So by dimensional analysis we can say that this equation is dimensionally incorrect. ये जो पॉइंट हम पढ़ रहे हैं या कंसीडर कर रहे हैं कि डायमेंशनल एनालिसिस से हम इक्वेशंस की करेक्टनेस को कैसे चेक कर सकते हैं, इसको प्रिंसिपल ऑफ होमोजेनिटी भी बोला जाता है. सो व्हेन एवर यू सी द टर्म प्रिंसिपल ऑफ होमोजेनिटी, डोंट गेट कंफ्यूज. ये जो हम इक्वेशन चेक कर रहे हैं, इसी प्रोसेस को प्रिंसिपल ऑफ होमोजेनिटी कहा जाता है. क्लियर? सो that's all for this session. We will continue our discussion in the next session. Thank you.